This is for Algebra 2. This is the answer to problem 1-48, which is in Chapter 1, for some questions that were asked for. And in this problem, you're going to be using the quadratic formula. And it even says, up here, it says, make sure, if you're not sure how to use it, to refer to the math notes box. And it gave some instructions on the quadratic formula. But just in case, here's a little bit of a video reminder that the quadratic formula is saying when you've got a quadratic in this format, you've got ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and these letters a, b, and c can be any integers, that to solve for x, to know when this is true, when this statement truly does equal 0, you can solve that using the quadratic formula where you find these coefficients a, b, and c and put them into this formula as you see here. Now this is also telling you that a can never be 0. So a can't be 0. These other letters could be 0. B or C could be 0, but a can never be 0. So let's look at that first one. We've got this quadratic, and we need to know what our a, our b, and our c is, but we're going to make sure you see that there's a 1 here. So now I can say that, oh, I see that a, this coefficient here is 1. B is -8, okay? Not 8, it's -8, and C is 15. So we've got that. We're now going to use this quadratic formula, and we're going to plug in. Wherever we see a B, we're going to put a -8. Make sure you see I put parentheses around it so that you don't forget the fact you're going to distribute this negative to that -8. I see another B. Where I see A, I'm going to write 1. Where I see C, I'm going to write 15. And then down in the denominator, I have a 1. And now we're going to simplify those things. And under the radical, this radicand, I'm going to simplify that, 64 minus 60, and I get 4. Now, I'm going to simplify the square root of 4, I get 2, but please note that that's a plus or minus, which means there's 2 possibilities. The first one is when it's 8 plus 2 divided by 2. We get 5. And the other one is when it's 8 minus 2 divided by 2, and we get 3. And so those are the answers. There's 2 answers, both of these, 2 answers to this problem. The second quadratic is 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. Once again, I've got this quadratic, ax squared plus bx plus c, and it equals 0. It's got to equal 0. And I recognize what my a, my b, and my c are. I know I'm going to take that quadratic formula that I've memorized, and where I see a b, I'm going to put -5. Another b, I put a -5. An a, I put 2. A c, I put -6. And the other a, I put 2. We need to do some simplification. And now under this radicand, this radical problem here, we've got to, under the radical, we need to simplify this radicand. I've got a negative and a negative there, so that becomes a positive. And simplifying that, I get the square root of 73. And that doesn't simplify any further. Please be aware, right here we see this plus and minus. That's 2 answers. We could put this into our calculator and we could come up with a decimal approximation for this number. We could do 5 plus the square root of 73 and then divide that by 4 and find the decimal approximation for it. But this is perfectly fine, those exact answers.